Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so it's game day for the Los Angeles Lakers once again. We got the Portland Trail Blazers tonight at 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern. Late game for you East Coasters. Finally, a aligned schedule as it pertains to the games. Supposed to start at 7:30 most of the time. We haven't seen a whole lot of that through 30 plus games of this season. A lot of our games have started early, so we get to have a regular Laker night tonight. We're gonna have our alternate floor popping off from what it seems. We're gonna wear our alternate jersey, so I'd assume that means we'll have our alternate floor, the black Lake Show jerseys, and the Portland Trail Blazers will be wearing white. And we're facing a Portland Trail Blazer team that's not very good, man. 11-21 is their record, and they've been, they've found a way to string together some wins. They've actually won 2 out of their last 3 games, for what it's worth. The last game they played in was against the 76ers, where they lost pretty substantially, 22-point loss. Before that, they played the Dallas Mavericks and won. No Luka, but Kyrie had like 47 points, and they still got the victory there. Before that, they played the Utah Jazz in a game where Svi Mikhailuk went crazy in like the third quarter with a million threes hit. They won that game. They pulled Svi out of there because he was doing too much for the Jazz. They, of course, want to lose that game against their fellow tanking brother Blazers. And they ended up squeaking out a 2-point win, the Portland Trail Blazers did, off of a 0.1 second shot made by Scoot Henderson, last year's 3rd overall pick. So he's coming along pretty strong. Before that, they played the Dallas Mavericks with Luka Doncic. Of course, as that went, 132-108, they did not win. And prior to that, they had a game against Wemby that went 114-94, as to which Wemby really had a fantastic game. So did others on that basketball floor for the Spurs. So yeah, that's really what it is, man. The Portland Trail Blazers, they're not a good team, but they've really been finding something as of late out of a few guys, man. DeAndre Ayton has been playing better as of late. Denny Advija has really been balling. In fact, he had a very good game against the Utah Jazz. As I said, Scoot Henderson's been doing good things off of the bench. And they've been finding stuff. Anthony Simons had 25 against the Philly Sixers in the last one. Shaedon Sharpe has been playing pretty well, although he was 1 for 8 from behind the arc in the last game. So, they're a bad team. They're struggling, man. But we're going to see this concerns that I had against this team early in the season for the first time. Although we've seen the Blazers already, if I'm not mistaken, twice. And I'll check to make sure. I know we've seen them once, but I thought we've seen them twice so far. They didn't have Donovan Clingan in the matchup we last saw them in. And Ayton wasn't very productive. I don't think Robert Williams played either. This was the concern I have with the Blazers. They have multiple centers that they're bringing at you in waves. And no, we've only seen them once. 107-98 on 12-8 was the last time we saw them. We got 3 more matchups against them, scattered out pretty evenly. It ain't no Sacramento Kings crap there. But they're bringing out all their centers, man. And this is why I was worried about playing this particular bad team, because we don't have the center position locked up very strong, with Anthony Davis pretty much being the only guy we're using. It's my guy's name, man. It's not coming to mind. But we are sitting our center that we've been using in the absence of Jackson Hayes. Now that Jackson Hayes is back, it's not because we're unhappy with him in any way. If anything, it's just simply because he only has 50 games from which he can play due to his contractual requirements as a two-way player. So we're not able to necessarily use him as much as we'd like to, even though he's really fit in well and provided some rim protection and things like that. God, where's this guy's name, man? My head is gone blank in regards to our own player, but I'm going to know it very soon as I have my second phone in my hand that I'll only have for a couple of more days, man. But for now, I'm able to give you all these stats and these names and not kind of stumble over that as much. But yeah, man, Christian Coloco, we are not using him right now because we want to kind of reserve him to make it so that we'll have him if we need him, if anybody goes down at the center position. Prayers out to Maxwell Lewis, who got hurt, man, in the first game that he played for the Nets. I guess somebody stepped on his foot, and something went wrong there, very wrong there. So that was tough to see, man. We give the Nets our young prospect, and they can't even send him out there in the first freaking play of the first game. He gets hurt. I'm not so happy about that, to say the least. And even though this doesn't relate to our situation, prayers out to Jaden Ivey, who broke his fibula on a situation that was unfortunate against the Orlando Magic. Guys diving at your leg, man. I don't know about that. I think there should be something done there. I know Cole Anthony didn't intend to hurt him. He showed a lot of remorse, and I respect that. But some things the game just has to remove. They have to remove that from the game. That should not be something someone feels comfortable doing. Don't dive at people's legs, bro. Period. So that's neither here nor there in regards to our team. Back to what we're talking about, the Portland Trail Blazers. You know, I don't want to take them lightly because they have these centers that we're going up against. That's basically what I was roundabout trying to say. With Robert Williams, DeAndre Ayton, and, of course, Donovan Clingan, they're going to throw waves of 7-footers at you that all do different things. And they have lineups that if they want to go to those lineups, they can really be defensively strong. When you put Robert Williams and Clingan on the floor at the same time, it's not much is going to work. You're going to have to shoot jumpers. So the Portland Trail Blazers can audible into winning lineups, but I don't think they choose to because they obviously want to have a top pick this year. And so that's what it is. But Tomani Kamara is a very good player who's starting to find his offense, good on the defensive side already. I really like this young guy. So we got to pay attention to him. Jarris Walker is a player that they need to start using a bit more. He had a game, if I'm not mistaken, against the Jazz. He was 7 of 8 from the field, if I'm not mistaken. Definitely somebody that needs more minutes. Jabari Walker is. No, that wasn't against the Jazz, but it was one of them games. He was 7 out of 8. So we just got to be careful against a team like the Portland Trail Blazers, who are starting to kind of get their rhythm with some of their players. Jeremy Grant is going to be out tonight, and we'll talk a little more about the injury report here, as it does state some things that we want to know. Delano Blanton is a game-time decision, a very serious, lengthy young player that they have. They use him a lot in point-of-attack situations, so you got to pay attention to him. But Matisse Thybulle and Jeremy Grant are out, so that's a real set of defensive players that we definitely would rather not have to deal with tonight. On our end, Jalen Hood-Schifino is out with the hamstring. Jared Vanderbilt is out, although he'll be back by the end of the month, from what I understand. Gabe Vincent is a game-time decision, of course, with the strain oblique that he suffered against Sac at the home game we had there. Christian Wood, of course, is still out. I haven't heard anything on that. And Anthony Davis is a game-time decision with a number of injuries, but it says ankle. Braun is not on the injury report, which is like the first time I've seen that in like 3 years. It's weird. I'm not going to lie to you. Him not being on the injury report is weird because most of the time he's not injured. He's on there as a precaution. So that they don't have that precaution ahead of tonight's game, that's strange to me. That's all I got to say. It's a bit strange to me. But nevertheless, he's not injured. He never is, really. And he'll be available tonight. Unless something weird happens. But anyway, yeah, so that's what I'm looking at there. I just respect the Portland Trail Blazers are coming in playing better ball than usual. Guys individually are playing better, and I think they were doing it because they want to raise their trade value and hopefully get moved from this team. So guys like Denny Advija, Anthony Simons, Ayton, these are guys, Robert Williams, these are guys that I would expect want to play well tonight in hopes of maybe being moved to the Lakers in a big trade. And look, Denny Advija is the one right here. And you look at what he did against Utah. 27 points, 6 assists, 8 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block, 9 of 13 shooting, 2 of 4 from behind the arc. This is a real player, bro. He does not need to be in Portland. I'm just being honest. Denny does not need to be in Portland. He needs to be in a winning situation where he can do exactly what he's doing for a team that really needs what he does. I don't know if the Lakers would be interested in Denny Advija, but this is a player that a lot of teams should be interested in right now. And I'm just being honest with you. That's 100% honesty. He is somebody we should be trying to go after, and so should about 25, 30 other teams. Denny Advija. So I just want to put that out there. He's balling like crazy. And he's doing it rather consistently throughout the course of this streak where they've been playing pretty well. Against the Dallas Mavericks, he went off for 21 points, 6 of 13 shooting, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. Like, he's a guy, man. And with Ayton also playing well in that game, 21 points, 16 rebounds, 2 steals, 3 blocks, 1 assist. They got some guys who are trying to raise their trade value. Bottom line, they don't want to be in a tanking situation. These are win now guys. Anthony Simons had 22 points in that Dallas game, 8 assists as well. So, we just, I don't know if I want to do a deal with Portland to get Jeremy Grant, but some of them other players, the role players, the Denny's and all them, I don't think they would be bad additions to this team, man. I really don't. So I just, there are other things. I said that from the beginning with Portland. While we had our eyes on Jeremy Grant, I don't want Jeremy Grant, but they do have some stuff that probably should be moved that maybe we should be interested in. And that's what I have to say about that in regards to making a trade with them. But they are coming off of a loss where some of those guys who have been playing well started to cool off, and I think that's, that latest stat should be important. They shot 22% from behind the arc. They're not a great three-point shooting team, but they do have guys like Shaedon Sharpe and Anthony Simons who can hit threes. They're not a great team. We know that. 26 turnovers against Philly, and that's really bad. You know what I mean? So I want to recognize that they've been playing better, but I also recognize they're coming off a really bad game for themselves. So that's worth talking about. But all in all, man, this is a team that doesn't want to win. Let's not get it twisted. They don't want to win. But they do pose a threat against us, particularly with the size that they can throw on the floor at the center position. Donovan Clingan, he's sitting on the bench getting like 9 minutes and stuff like that. If they want to really utilize him and put him out there, you're not going to score at the rim on this guy. He's already coming into this league one of the best interior defenders in basketball. Nobody who didn't study the draft is going to necessarily agree with that, but those of us who studied the draft already are certain of this. He is one of the best defenders in the perimeter, in the interior in NBA basketball today. So you got to be aware of him. Robert Williams, they just got a lot of size, man. The lengthy Ryan Rupert, he's coming along. They're giving him a little more minutes now. Chris Murray is somebody who's getting more minutes on the perimeter, wing guys. So they got plenty of wings. And even though Thibault and Banton and Grant are out, they still have plenty of lengthy wing defenders to throw at you. Shaedon Sharpe can go for 30 at any moment, get highlights and dunks, string off threes all night long. So this is a team where if they get hot, it could be a hard fight for your Lakers, man. It really could. And of course, we're coming off a game where we lost against the Cleveland Cavaliers. And the Cleveland Cavaliers are arguably the best basketball team in the league. And I don't know that the argument's very strong against them. They're just balling. They have the best record. They've only lost 4 games, and they weren't about to lose to us. And that's what I saw there. A team that just came in and played great defense. Their centers controlled the glass, and their guards pretty much put us away rather easily. It wasn't very difficult, but I thought we played pretty well in stretches. Of course, we talked a lot about the change that we made to bring in Dodo, is what they call him, Dorian Finney-Smith, and of course Shake Milton, who I thought both showed strong efforts, having not practiced with the team or played with this team. I thought they looked pretty good, and I wasn't mad at either one of them. Shake Milton had a really good first half. Second half wasn't as strong. Dorian Finney-Smith only had about 20 minutes, and we will judge him not by his stats but overall impact. That's really what it is. If you're looking for him to be a 2010 guy or something like that, the stats are not what's going to do the story for you. He's going to play great defense against multiple positions. He's the only guy in the league that's played 17 minutes or more against each position: center, point guard, small forward, shooting guard, power forward. He guards them all. So that's going to be something that's extremely valuable for us when the games are most meaningful. And as he starts to get to know this team and get to learn what we're doing, we're going to find that he's going to be extremely valuable to us. Hopefully we can get Vanderbilt back at the end of the month and he's 100%. Then we'll have 2 guys who can literally guard anybody. And that makes us capable of winning any game, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's a very valuable piece. Definitely happy to have him. And hopefully he'll feel a little more comfortable tonight in his first or second home game with the Lakers. And I'd like to see us utilize him a little more. I know, like I said, he doesn't know what he's doing yet with our team, but 20 minutes probably ain't enough for what it is he does, especially given the fact that we're having some struggles with Rui Hachimura in that last game. I would have loved for him to kind of shave away Rui's minutes and just put that defender back out there against a Cleveland Cavaliers team that he knows very well, given the fact he's been in the Eastern Conference for the last couple of years against them. So Yeah, I just thought that might have been a little bit of a mistake. But overall, happy to have Dorian Finney-Smith with us this year. Um, Austin Reeves, man, he's been stepping into his new role as lead guard, and he's been great at it. The last 3 games, he's been basically an all-star. All-star Reeves is what we call him when he's playing like this. 35 points, 10 assists, 9 rebounds. He was great in the last game, man. We need the turnovers to come down. He had 4 of those, but that kind of comes with his game, just like Bron a little bit. We know that. But 11 of 20 from the field, not bad. 1 of 4 from the 3. We'd like that to be better. I want him to select good 3-point shots, especially down the stretch. Sometimes he tends to take these wily 3-point shots just like Bron does. It's almost like he mirrors Bron's shot selection a lot of time. And I know playing with Bron, being as smart as he is, you kind of just going to try to beat Bron a lot. You know what I mean? But I think Austin Reeves needs to reel it in as it pertains to his shot selection, because at the end of the day, some of the shots that he takes probably should be him getting other guys involved with the new role that he now has, since we're down some facilitation, creation stuff going on with this roster at this point. So that's my hope, is that while he's scoring a lot, I need those assists to be where the emphasis is until we get that facilitator here. So hopefully we're working on that. Anthony Davis had a better game than I thought most people gave him credit for. He had 28 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks against the Cleveland Cavaliers. A lot of people were saying, oh, he was kind of quiet. I didn't think so. I really didn't. 12 of 23 shooting, that's 23 attempts. I need that. 2 of 4 from behind the arc, that's great. So for me, I thought Anthony Davis played pretty much the way I wanted him to. So I just didn't agree with a lot of the conversation in regards to Anthony not playing well. You know, they were saying he got outworked by Jared Allen. Well, he's supposed to get outworked by Jared Allen. Jared Allen's in better shape than Anthony Davis, and he has the help of Evan Mobley next to him, which is also in Anthony Davis. So if you give Anthony Davis a Jared Allen, then you can have a balance to say that Anthony Davis was outplayed by a certain Cleveland front court. But until that Anthony Davis has 2 of himself down there next to him, you can't really get mad at him for getting outplayed by Jared Allen, because he's not dealing with Jared Allen. He's dealing with Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. So I just want to put that out there. I didn't agree with that, as I listened to people speak that way about Anthony Davis against Cleveland Cavaliers. He's not dealing with 1 stilt, man. He's dealing with 2. And he's only 1 man. Who you got? Rui Hachimura next to him? What the hell that's going to be? They ate Rui's lunch. Rui was awful, man. And I'm telling you, Rui's game is best when he's taking a lot of shots and is efficient. And I don't think he's going to have many nights where he's 3 for 10. It's just not who he is. But his basketball IQ has got to grow if he's going to be a piece that we can count on, because at the end of the day, some of the stuff that he's been doing out there, aside from the shooting woes, have been pretty bad. And I just thought that was a really tough game for him, and it was tough to watch, to be honest with you. So I hope he has a bounce-back game. But overall, he just needs to get smarter out there. He needs to. And so the coaches are going to have to work with him, show him where he's screwing up. He's still a developing player. He's only had, a couple of years to work, so the development phase is still intact. And I don't doubt that he will get better, but he has to. He has to, especially if he's going to play such a big role on our team, man. So the efficiency is always something we like from Rui, but some of the heady mistakes take away from the overall appreciation we have for the player. And with our team being as short-handed as we are, we can't have some of our main guys being struggle as much as he's been struggling. Hate to single him out, but I can't help but to when I saw how he played in that last game. Max Christie did not have a good shooting night in that last game. I thought he played pretty well defensively, but we need his scoring more so than ever now that D'Lo's out. 2 of 6 from the field, 1 of 5 from behind the arc. It would have been great if he could have hit some of those open looks. They were good looks. Either you hit them or you don't. He has work to do in the gym to continue to improve as a shooter. And I like the improvement he's made thus far. And if he puts in the work, he'll get even better. So that's really what it is for a young player. Cam Reddish was kind of quiet, 4 rebounds. That's about it. 1 steal. We don't judge him by his scoring, so the steal is good. We do want him to be involved. And 19 minutes of play, that's what it was against the Cleveland Cavaliers. So, just looking at the Cleveland stats specifically, Dalton Knecht did not play well in that last game. We really need him to bounce back and kind of get back to where he was in the previous games, because he had been really playing well up into that game. So, all in all, the Los Angeles Lakers are a fair team right now. I think through several games, through 2 games or whatever it is, we're pretty good. We just need to improve on some key areas and ultimately continue to add to this team. We'd love to get ourselves another center to kind of help with the bruising big guys and help with that dynamic that I just mentioned with Anthony Davis having so much of responsibility in that front court. But as I've always said since making the trade, really think we need the facilitator. And there's a lot of different ways to get that player, and maybe they're not too expensive, but you do want them to be out there to help, particularly with second units, making sure that guys like Rui and DK get the ball. I heard a name that's interesting to me. Ayo Dosunmu, I think, would fit that role very well from the Chicago Bulls. He could play multiple positions. He's a point of attack defender, athletic, long and tall, has combo guard stuff, can create for himself, can make plays for others. I can't think of a piece that I think would fit us better for the multiple needs that we have than that one off top. Ayo Dosunmu is somebody to give somebody a couple second-round picks for, get him out of Chicago, put him on this team, and he will help with a lot of our second unit issues, may even rise himself above a guy like Max Christie with the multiple things that he can do, put some pressure on some other people. I think he would be a hell of an upgrade from Gabe Vincent for us. Comparable height to what it is that we have, since we kind of want to be a taller team at this point. I'm targeting Ayo Dosunmu if I'm our GM, Rob Pelinka. I think that piece fits a lot of what we need. He can get off 7-8 assists on a good night. That would fill the void of what we need. I don't think he's a great three-point shooter, but I'm sure he's improving in that way. Still a young player. He's from Chicago, so I don't know that he wants to leave home. But if he has to leave home, I'm sure he would love the sunshine of Los Angeles. I want us to go get Ayo Dosunmu if he's available. I think he fits a lot of the needs that we have and gives us overall a good team. I remember when we had, back when I was a kid, Ron Harper on the team playing point guard at like 6'7", 6'8". Ayo Dosunmu can kind of give us a little bit of that. You just want big guards on your team. And he could play the shooting guard, play the small forward. Excellent defensive player from what I've understood. Great in the open court, can get out in the open court, create things, driving at the rim, get to the line. I mean, he don't really have too many holes at all from where he's developing from, at this point. So I think we should go after that dude. He's very comfortable playing off the bench, although I'm sure he would love to be a starter and gain his way up. But he's been playing off the bench for a much worse Chicago team. They got a bunch of players that all over the place, kind of taking minutes from him at times. I think we should target him. I really do. From Chicago, Ayo Dosunmu. So, yeah, that's something I've just been thinking about. I heard his name somewhere. And then Davion Mitchell, Donovan, of course, but Davion Mitchell is who I'm talking about as well. I think he would be a great player to kind of help us with facilitation and ultimate defensive. He's off night, man. He's one of the best defensive players out there. So I would love for the Lakers to try to get one of those guys, or even both of them would be great, although I don't know that we could do that. But these are the type of pieces I think would help us with some of our multiple needs at this point, and probably complement Dorian Finney-Smith quite a bit. So yeah, these are the things that I think could help. Just putting suggestions out there. But yeah, the Los Angeles Lakers, from where I'm sitting, we are a good team right now as it pertains to what we thought we would be, 4 games above 500. That's better than I thought we were going to be this far through with a rookie coach and some of the issues that we have with our roster. But ultimately, we still want to get better, and we think if we get the right pieces in here, we can. So I don't know if the Lakers are able to do that. Obviously, we have those 2 picks. I'm not too thrilled about moving those, but I think we have maybe 2 more second rounders that I think we could probably, with the price tag on everything that's out there, maybe make something happen with those if we choose to. So I'm all for trades if the Lakers want to do that. We have some needs that we need to have met, and we got a couple guys on our team on contract that I'm sure we would like to turn into different stuff, to be honest with you, if I'm just being real. So I don't know, man. This is trade time. You're hearing a lot of people talk about trades. I try not to talk too much about stuff, but as it pertains to suggesting what I think we could use, that was what I tried to do here. So yeah, man, that is it. Portland Trailblazers tonight, 7:30. Take this team seriously. I think if we do, we'll beat them. I don't think they want to win, but just the same, they got some guys playing well right now. So keep an eye on Aiden, keep an eye on Denny, and keep an eye on Shaden Sharp. Those are the 3 guys that I have circled on this one. Scoot Henderson's been playing better. I would love to get Scoot Henderson. I know they have no interest in giving up on him. He's probably a big part of what they have in their future. But as it pertains to a guy who I think is going to be a big assist guy in the future, he's a big assist guy in the future. He's very good at facilitating and running an offense. And they got him coming off their bench right now, developing him, and he's in a good stretch. So expect for him to shine tonight. I think he will. So yeah, these are the type of things that I'm thinking about. You know, Anthony Simons is an interesting piece as well. Can do some of those things. I worry about his size a little bit defensively. I think he'd be a step back, but he can always go for 30. He can always hit like 8 threes in one game if he's having a hot night. Get like 10 assists if he's having a hot night. So I think he'd be a good starting guard in a lot of situations on the offensive end. So, you know, these are things that the Lakers need to be studying, and if there's ways to make these guys Lakers, maybe we should try to rekindle conversations with the Portland Trailblazers and engage in conversations with some of these teams that, you know, have some contracts that they probably like to let go of, you know what I mean, just like we did with the Nets. So that's pretty much my thought, man. I can't say I'm overly excited about playing the Blazers tonight, but I think by the time tip-off comes around, I'm pretty sure I'll be happy to see Laker basketball. If anything, I just want to see us come out and find ways of utilizing the players that we just picked up to their strengths, if at all possible. Hopefully we get Gabe Vincent back. We did miss him in the last one a little bit. We need him to hit shots. That's going to be particularly strong now that a strong need for us now that D'Angelo is in Brooklyn, who had a really good game yesterday, 22 points, 8 assists. Not surprised. He usually plays well when there's no Bron on the floor. There ain't no Bron in Brooklyn, so he'd probably be an all-star. But that's what I've learned, man. Prayers up to the injured players, and hopefully we have a good game, man. We got to stay healthy ourselves. That's really what it's about. And, yeah, man, I appreciate everybody for rocking with BDF 44. Happy New Year, and I'm out.